Okay, from small animals like chickens and ducks, let's have a look how we work with the larger animals on the landscape. Grazing animals can be used to actually repair country and condition the soil by moving the animals in a natural pattern across pasture, like a tight packed herd of animals on a savanna. In a natural sense, they're tight packed by predators. Here, we're grazing them in small cells, moved regularly, so that animals eat their way across the country, spreading the diversity of the pasture with their manure, imprinting the topsoil with their hooves, and only taking a top bite off the pasture grasses and herbage, actually tearing away at the plants, so they're loosening topsoil rather than compacting, then quickly moved and quickly moved again. In this way, we're increasing soil fertility, we're increasing soil depth. We've got high quality animals and good quality land condition. By not overgrazing, by not over-compacting, by only grazing off the tops of the pasture, herbage and grasses, the plants are not stressed. The topsoil is actually enhanced by the fast recovery of the root zone. The interactions between the roots, the exudates of the roots and the soil life. This actually gives the animals a better feed and a better soil condition to feed from. Better mineral uptake. This is a much more sustainable way to go about grazing landscape, as in a natural pattern. If we're going to take these quality products off the landscape, then how are we going to maintain the fertility of the soil? Okay, I'm going to make a mineral mix for you, and this will be roughly what we'll give our cows on a per cow recipe. So I start off with a little bit of copper sulfate, and I've got the boiling water in there. It's quite hot water, it's just come out of the kettle, and I make sure that I've dissolved the copper sulfate. Now, copper sulfate is a poison, but it helps worm the cows, keeps them parasite free, and all the animals. But it must be melded right down. So there it is, melded down. Then I get a little bit of dolomite, like twice as much as the copper sulfate, and that will neutralize the poisoning effect of the copper sulfate. So there it is, neutralized, but it'll also make it quite alkaline. So we have quite an alkaline mixture. That's a special animal dolomite, easy for the animals to digest. I then get an equal, twice as much as the copper sulfate, but equal to the dolomite, tablespoon here of sulfur. That is quite acid. It doesn't really want to mix with the alkalinity, but that neutralizes the alkaline effect of the dolomite. So now we're back to neutral. Now here's some rock dust. This is rock dust with all the Earth's minerals mixed in a fine rock dust powder. So this is food for the organisms in the soil, but it has to go through the organisms in the soil before it becomes available to the plants. They are the transfer mechanism. So there goes the rock dust. I'll put an extra bit in there, another tablespoon. Now here is powdered kelp, a high quality powdered kelp, and that is all the minerals from the ocean. So rock dust with the minerals from the land, kelp with the minerals from the ocean. Let's mix that together. Now we're getting quite a brew. Now, just to bring it up to a little bit of natural acidity, I've got some organic apple cider vinegar. And I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about half a cup. of organic apple cider vinegar mixed in with it. That's natural acidity and gives them a bit of a tonic. Now, just to make this taste good, I'm now going to add some organic molasses. Here's a bit of organic molasses going in. That'll sweeten the whole mixture up. A big 2, 3, even more big spoonfuls of molasses. Not too much, just in case it will be a little bit too much for the cows, and that could give them the runs or any of the animals. It's kind of rich, creates a lot of bacterial activity, molasses. So there we go. That's the mineral mix. Now I've got to try and mix it with the cut forage, and it won't mix like that easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some pollard. Here's our pollard. It's just ground up corn and wheat flour. I'll mix that in just so that it makes up a nice absorbent mixture. Now all those minerals have soaked up through there. Now we've got the mineral mix soaked into the pollard now. And now it's starting to smell quite yummy actually. It smells quite nice. Now, mix that in with the cut forage. Now, these plants themselves have been grown on highly mineralised manure, so they'll be high in minerals anyway. Now we've got a mix. There it is, it's all mixed through. Now, we can make a mix like that and put it in the dog food. We can make a mix like that and put it in the poultry food. We can put in any of the animal feeds, and the minerals go through the animal, out through the manure, and cycle through our system and gets distributed evenly out through the farm. And we can manage that mixture, and it'll come through our compost, it'll come through our worm farms, it'll come through our food, it'll come through our compost toilet, and it'll cycle back through the system. And it's really not a lot of minerals, but it is the full complement of minerals, so they're all available. Remineralisation. Not a lot of minerals, but the full complement, and that's what's important.